look, I'm not going to sit here and say Sonic Forces is perfect or Sonic Forces is amazing. But what I will say is I think it is undeserving of this tsunami of hate that it has been getting the last couple of days. I've seen almost no one say anything good about it. It's all real bad stuff. And there is some bad stuff in the game. But this game isn't Cancer Hitler, as people are making it out to be. Right, first things first, the avatar. Create your own avatar, do some levels playing as that avatar. Rubbish, stupid idea, should never have been in the game. I agree, it is a bad thing. As soon as I saw it in the trailers, I was like, oh, modern Sonic, yep, love modern Sonic in Sonic Generations. Oh, classic Sonic, okay. Classic Sonic was okay in Generations, but it would have been better if it was just modern Sonic. Oh, make your own character? Oh, that's not good. Oh. And then the game came out, and make your own character is awful. I think most people would agree that those levels are the worst part of the game. But that was expected. I'll tell you what wasn't expected. Video Game Donkey's hit piece. I mean review. While the review was funny, I think, honestly, it made the game out to be way worse than it is. He showed a level where you spend most of your time sliding down a water slide, and he repeatedly described it as so broken, and then showed himself falling off the edge because the robots knocked him off the edge, or he just lost control. I've done that level, and I went through it first time without issue. It's not so broken at all. Maybe his version was. Maybe he was suffering from a rare bug. I don't know. But it seemed perfectly fine when I played it. I mean, he described it as so broken and then proceeded to not demonstrate that it was broken in any way. It's so not broken that here's a clip of him going down that part and a clip of me going down that part, and you'll see that it is possible to get down there without thinking that it's broken.
This water slide is so broken up and oh, still alive. This thing sucks. This thing really sucks. Look at it. It's just broken. It doesn't work. This is a broken fucking thing. And thank you.
No time to lose focus, that's all. Be sure to give it all you got, rookie.
The readings are really close now.
So broken.
He also said that modern Sonic levels were very buggy. I haven't seen any bugs. Yeah, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm not saying they don't exist. Just because they haven't happened to me, I'm not saying they don't exist. But I haven't seen a single one in my playthrough so far. And he's making it out, well, not just him, but other people as well, are making it out that the game is a bug-riddled mess. And it's like, it's not really the case, is it? I haven't encountered any bugs on the modern Sonic levels, and he sure as hell didn't show any bugs on the modern Sonic levels. Anyone who hasn't played the game but saw his review will think that the game is a complete piece of hot garbage, and I don't think it is. It's not an amazing game, but there's plenty of fun to be had in it. Plenty of fun, and he made it out to be so bad that he wanted to get a refund. Okay? The reviews I've been reading just make the game out to be just not fun at all, in any respect. No fun to be contained within this game. Again, I disagree. I've already readily admitted that the Avatar levels in this game are shit and shouldn't be in it. That's true. But the classic Sonic and modern Sonic levels, I think, are as good as they were in Generations. Maybe even, in some instances, in some small ways, a little bit better. Modern Sonic plays pretty much identically to how he did in Sonic Generations. You can't curl up into a ball and power slide around corners anymore, but that was only really used on 1 or 2 levels in the previous game, so that's not really much of a downgrade, if it is a downgrade at all. And they got rid of the upgrades you can get for Sonic, like, oh, have this upgrade so that when you get hit you don't lose all your rings, or have this upgrade so that when you press square at the beginning of his level you get a little bit of a boost. I think they're unnecessary, and the game, I don't think this game is made worse by the lack of their inclusion, put it that way. One thing I have noticed, though, is that almost no one seems to be talking about the music or the story, which are 2 good things in this game. They're actually good. A story that's good in a Sonic game. You wouldn't expect it, but personally I think it is. Sure, most of the music in this game doesn't reach the standards of Sonic Generations, but that game kind of had the advantage of letting them remix classic tunes that people had nostalgia to. But the tunes in this game are still pretty good, and I think they're more interesting, definitely more interesting, and they've got more personality than the music in Mario Odyssey. And I'm not hating on Mario Odyssey. That's a great game, right? But the music is boring. For a Mario game, it is boring. There's only a couple of tunes in there that I think actually sound like a Mario game. But Sonic Forces, most of the music in it sounds like it came from a Sonic game throughout the ages. Take the music to the classic Sonic level Ghost Town, for instance. It's fucking awesome. colleague at work, who was not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination, heard me playing that tune at work, and he turned around and he goes, "What is that, from some kind of Sonic the Hedgehog or something?" And I turned around and looked at him and I was like, "You hit the nail on the head, son. It just came out 2 days ago." If someone who doesn't play games, but obviously has maybe played them in the past, can hear a piece of music from this new game, and yeah, it was a wild stab in the dark, but he was right. He said it sounded like something from a Sonic game, and he was right. The music is decent, is my point. That's what I'm trying to get at. The music on this game is decent. I like it. It's good. It's fitting. No one's talking about that, though. No one goes, "Oh, the music's good." They're all like, "This game's shit." Don't really give any good, not many good reasons. They do give some good reasons, obviously, because this game isn't perfect. Not saying it is. And the story. Oh, the story. I'm not going to go into spoiler territory here, but what I'm about to tell you is, if you play the game for 5 minutes, you'll know what I'm about to tell you. And basically, Sonic gets captured, and he's tortured by Robotnik for 6 months. And in that 6 Sonicless months, Robotnik used that time to take over the world. So by the time the game starts proper, Robotnik has already pretty much won. You know, it's just a little ragtag bunch of freedom fighters left to battle him and try and overthrow his forces. It's not just a case of, "Oh, Robotnik's at it again." It's a case of, "Oh shit, he's done it." Nearly, just very nearly. He's almost completed his grand plan. The idea of Robotnik having nearly won, and then the little group of freedom fighters fighting against him, that's the story in one of the Sonic cartoons. That was pretty much the setting of Sonic the Comic, which I used to read as a kid. Like, it's a very Sonic-feeling story, as opposed to, you know, being in the world and everything's fine and happy, but Robotnik's releasing some bad guys every now and then. No, this is like Robotnik's dominating the land. You've got to, like, push back. And I like it. What's more, this game takes place shortly after Sonic Mania. Now, I guess this is a little bit of a spoiler for the end of Sonic Mania, so don't listen for the next 15 seconds if you don't want to hear it, or just skip ahead or whatever. But at the end of Sonic Mania, if you get the good ending with Sonic, he vanishes. He just warps out of existence while he's still on Little Planet or Miracle Planet, whatever it's called. Just warps out of existence. And I was sat there and I was like, "Where's Sonic? Where did Sonic go? What's happened? What? How's that an ending? The good ending as well." And then you play this game and you realize, oh shit, son, these games are linked. They are linked. The classic Sonic you play as in this game is the Sonic from Mania. Like, he's just finished Sonic Mania and he got warped out of his dimension and warped into this dimension. I love the dovetailing of stories like that from different games. I never considered that Sonic Mania was part of the same universe as Sonic Forces, and I like that. I like the way they've sort of dovetailed it in. Also, this explains why classic Sonic, they gave him the drop dash move that he has in Sonic Mania, and now you know why, because he is the Sonic Mania classic Sonic, and he learned the drop dash, and now he carried it over into this game, so that's good. I like that. Basically, if you enjoyed Sonic Generations, I don't know how you can not enjoy this. It's essentially Sonic Generations 2, except instead of being set in classic levels, they give you a new story. The story right, Sonic Generations was my favourite Sonic game, and the story was wank. It was just a backseat passenger. It also had the worst final boss of any Sonic game ever, in my opinion. It was pathetically feeble and unfun. But this game is essentially like, you've got the classic Sonic, you've got the modern Sonic, and you know, Avatar shit. New levels. It's kind of like more of Sonic Generations, which is exactly what I wanted. 6 years ago, Sonic Generations came out, and I loved it. And I've been waiting 6 years for them to release a game that felt like that, or at least the daytime stages, the modern stages of Sonic, because that's the bit I care about. The classic Sonic, I can take it or leave it. I really wish they would just make a modern Sonic game with modern Sonic, and just him. Get classic Sonic, throw him away. Avatar, throw him away. Because they've made 3 this is the 3rd Sonic game in a row. I don't count Sonic Boom, because it's not made by Sonic Team. I don't think it's made by them. Anyway, there was Unleashed, but only half of that, just less than half of that game was the fun modern Sonic stages. The other half of the game was the nighttime Werehog stages, which were okay, but they should be in their own game. And then Sonic Generations, they again brought back the awesome modern Sonic, but then they only had the balls to make half a game with him again, so they thought, let's get classic Sonic and make half the game that. And now we have modern Sonic back for a 3rd time, but again, he's not the entire game. They brought back classic Sonic, and then they brought in an Avatar. It's like they don't have the confidence in the awesome gameplay of modern Sonic to make it a full game, and they really should. And I'm not the only one that thinks so. Now, at the risk of sounding like, oh, you're not good enough, oh, you need to get better at the game, at the risk of being that guy, right? When you first played these Sonic games, and you start going through the levels, you're always going to go through them slow, and they're going to be painful because you don't know the levels. They're designed to be blasted through at top speed, and you can't do that and keep it going unless you know what's coming ahead. You need advanced knowledge. So the first couple of times you play it, it's going to not be great. You're going to be going slow, you're going to get hit by bad guys and everything. But once you've gone through a level a few times, and you do what I did on Sonic Generations and what I've started to do on this, you sit down on a modern Sonic level, and you play it again and again and again, whittling your time down, getting your time faster and faster and faster. That's where, like, people say the game is short. Yeah, well, there's plenty of stuff to do afterwards. Get the S ranks, get all the emblems, try and set some fastest times. Once you get better at the levels and you're able to blast through them, like, that's when it's super fun. And all these people probably just, like, picked it up, played it a little bit, and they were like, yeah, you know, I've got to rush this game and get this review out, so I can't sit here and, like, learn each level and get used to them. I just got to go through the levels and then get it done as fast as possible. Yeah, you're gonna say the game's shit, because the first time you do any level, it's gonna be shit. Especially if it's a new game. And not only does Sonic Forces allow you to, you know, go through stages and try and beat your record and constantly find new shortcuts and little tricks, it does it better on this game than it did in Generations because of two quality of life improvements. They are small, but I noticed them and I appreciate them. The first, they got rid of lives, because let's face it, lives in most games are an outdated mechanic. They don't need to be in these games. What purpose does having lives serve? It doesn't. In Sonic Generations, when you run out of lives, what happens? You just press start and it gives you 5 more lives. Pointless then. You lose your progress on the checkpoints or whatever. But if you're trying to set fast times on levels, you're going to be restarting like hundreds of times, and I'm not exaggerating, because I did it the other day when I got like 19th in the world on Green Hill Zone, no big deal. It's so awesome to just go pause, retry, and have it not cost a life. Because on Sonic Generations, every time you went on retry, it would cost you a life, and then when you got down to 0 lives, it would kick you out of the level, and then you'd have to go through loading screens and stuff for it to give you 5 more lives. On this game, it's just like, fuck it, lives are pointless. If you want to retry. You got infinite retries, which is great. Also, the load times are extremely short on this game, so compared to Generations, they were fairly lengthy. And on Sonic Generations, if you wanted to retry, you'd have to retry and then just wait and wait and wait, and then it would go. On this game, it's like 2 seconds. You go, boom, retry. And now I'm back in the game, and it's that quick. It's so awesome, especially when you're retrying, as I say, hundreds of times. Something small like that can make a big difference. But no one's been talking about any of this stuff. No one's been talking about the good stuff. They've just been pointing at it and going, look at this. Look at the way the character controls when you're moving at slow speeds. Look at this avatar. Dress your character up. Bullshit. Oh, it's a buggy mess. That's all anyone's saying. And I think more should be said. I think someone should defend this game because it's fun. I'm having fun on this game. Yesterday when I was at work, I was sat there and I was like, you know what? I can't wait to get home and play Sonic Forces. I was more excited yesterday than the day of release. On the day of release, I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't reading reviews before release because I knew I was buying the game anyway. Took it home, and when I first started playing it, I didn't care for it much. I was like, it feels weird, it's odd. But then I got used to the levels, and then yesterday, like I say, I was at work, and I couldn't wait to get home and play it. I'm not expecting to change anyone's opinion with this video. You know, they've got their opinion, that's fine. I'm just trying to give an alternative perspective on a game that I think is being unfairly shat upon from an almighty height by fucking everyone. Is just shitting all over this game. Most of the people who are shitting all over it haven't even played it. They're just people who watch Video Game Donkey's hit piece, I mean review, and went, oh, he said it's shit. This game's shit. And for all I know, they may play the game and think it's shit. Fair enough. They may have gone on to play the game and had a good time. That's totally possible, because this game does contain fun. And to be clear, I don't have anything against Video Game Donkey. He's a really talented YouTuber, a funny guy, he makes great videos, right? But I think his video, I don't know if misleading. Actually, yeah, I'll say it. I think his video was misleading because he made the game out to be a buggy mess, and it simply isn't true. It may have some bugs in it, but it's not Skyrim. Skyrim was a buggy mess. This is not a buggy mess. His video made it out to be. I think he made some valid points about things that are bad in this game. Of course, like I said several times so far, this game has bad things in it. It simply does. But that doesn't mean it's devoid of fun, which is the impression a lot of people are being given. They're being told, this game's shit. Oh, if I could get a refund, I could. And it's just like, well, it's Sonic Generations 2. If you expected not that, that's your problem. I expected that. As soon as I saw the first trailer and it showed Modern Sonic and Classic Sonic, I was like, yes, Generations 2. And then when they released the title and they said it's Forces, I was like, oh, it's not Generations 2. but it will probably play the same, and it pretty much does. There's not much difference. I don't have anything against Video Game Donkey. I just think that he probably did a very good job of convincing 2 million people that this game is pure trash, not worth their time. And I happen to disagree. Dance with me, come on. This tune's so fucking good. Ba 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 da